Cheers to Kind
Cheers.
Talk.
Yes. So welcome to our first video. Welcome to the Kind Laundry channel. I'm Jane. I'm their social media manager, and I'm with
Angie, and I'm the co-founder of Kind Laundry.
I joined Kind Laundry because I really believe in your business and how much you care about your community as well. I think that separates you from all the other businesses out there with laundry products. So yeah, like tell me a little bit more about why you decided to start Kind Laundry and maybe your inspiration for the company too.
Yeah, so the journey started 10 years ago when me and Bernard's my husband and also the other co-founder of Kind Laundry, we were starting a journey towards health and wellness. We actually had a fast food healthy restaurant.
Yeah.
And during that time, we learned about the impact of eating healthy.
Yeah.
Which turned into also the stuff that you put into your body, like shampoo and also your toothpaste, as well as the creams that you put on your skin. So in your skin, on your body are the things that we were trying to kind of like figure out during our healing process. I had a lot of like cystic acne and digestive issues. Bernard had like constant bleeding noses too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But during that time, we actually got rid of all of it. Through just the power of like food and being more conscious about what we put in our body. But so when we go to the grocery stores, we notice that in like the food aisle and also like the body care aisle, there's healthier alternatives. But when you go into like the laundry care aisle, there's pretty much not a lot of alternatives. And even today, more than 95% of the shelf is from big companies. In big plastic jugs, and it's laced with tons and tons of toxic chemicals. So
there's only like a couple of options, whereas like with other like even food items, you have so many gluten-free alternatives, many like different nut milks as well. But I feel like you're right, like with laundry products there, I can only name like 5 off the top of my head, maybe, or 4 even.
And so, even with the 5 and 4, they still come in heavy duty plastic. And even though they're more natural, I say natural because we still don't know what's actually in it. By the way, did you know that by law you don't have to list out every single ingredient in laundry products?
No, I didn't know that.
Or even I think household cleaning products too. So unlike food and body care, there's like you have to. Whereas still today in this category you don't have to. So you'll see a lot of warning. If you check your bottles or your conventional detergent at the back, there's a lot of warning labels, but says non-ionic and anionic surfactants. But that's not really an ingredient list. It's a blanket statement for like what's in it.
That's so interesting. I never knew that. Like, and it's really interesting because I have eczema. I also have acne. I have PCOS, so lots of cystic acne myself as well. But when I was seeing a dermatologist for my eczema, the first thing they had asked me was obviously like food and everything, but what are you using for laundry detergent? Which is so interesting because obviously there's something in there that's an irritant for a lot of people with sensitive skin, right? So and I see a naturopath as well, and obviously everybody knows about food changes, lifestyle changes, but she also says that a big thing that people ignore is actually household items, because there's going to be a lot of hormonal disruptors and issues, especially for women. So I love what you guys are doing.
That's interesting that you talked about your visits to your naturopath or practitioners. It kind of matches what our chemists, so we work with a chemist that used to work at Unilever, Clorox, like a big CPG companies. And she formulates a lot of, like formulations for detergent and household cleaning products. And she did say that when they did their studies, the number one question that a dermatologist asked in the US is if someone comes into the office with like a skin issue, the first question, number one question by far, is have you changed your detergent recently as well? So what's in it?
Exactly.
What's in it?
What I love about Kind Laundry is when I first cyber stalked you guys, the first thing was I love that how honest you are about all your ingredients. You really listed it all out on your website, and also the better alternatives for the typical laundry items out there, for example, like detergent sheets and also dryer balls.
As we expanded our laundry care lineup, So at Kind Laundry, we said that we like to turn your laundry into ritual self-care. So instead of like seeing laundry as a mundane task that's kind of like boring and repetitive, we want to make it exciting.
Yeah.
So it started off with our detergent. I guess we have one in the box there. That's a sneak peek. But it comes in a box, so it's recyclable and it's very easy to use. It's very lightweight. The format is a sheet instead of like a liquid. So that is supposed to be a more sustainable and non-toxic alternative. But then we have the dryer solution. So instead of dryer sheets, which we'll talk about later, of how toxic it is for your health, we have the balls, even stain removers. Those are very harsh when it comes to chemicals because it's removing stains. We have something supernatural for that that's also very gentle. Scent boosters too.
Yeah.
So list goes on. So you go to our website, you look at the different laundry care solutions. Everything is always going to be a sustainable or non-toxic alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So also going back to the health issue, like we're both women, like I have PCOS. It's a huge hormonal issue that actually is really common in many women. It's something that I didn't really know that I had. I just had like really bad cystic acne, like all over my jaw. And when I started trying to heal my body naturally, I was really looking into foods, things like that, which everybody will tell you about, right? Like foods, yes, helps you a lot and it helped me a lot. But I guess going that extra step was to look into what were in my household items and definitely thinking about like phthalates and synthetic fragrances and parabens as well. So yes, these are found in household items, but also in skincare, right? But thinking about household items, we really, like you said just now, there's like 5 laundry detergent brands out there if I go to like Shoppers or something, you know? So you don't really think about them until you really have the time to read the label and be like, okay, what is actually in these products?
Unfortunately, with conventional detergent, 60% of the chemicals that leach, that is like residue. So the way it works is that like the way big manufacturers, I'm going to get in trouble for this, the way they formulate is they actually add optimal brighteners, dyes, fragrance, chemicals to make more bubbles into detergent to give the illusion that's clean your clothes better, but it's actually not. So in fact, each time you're washing, just say your clothes or your item, and you rinse it off, and like you know how there's a rinse cycle in your detergent washing machine, so it only goes through 1 or 2 cycles. But if you actually experiment it yourself, it doesn't matter how many times you wash it, there's still like soap. So it's designed to have this residue on top to stick on your clothes, and it dries on your clothes. So that's what we can't see, but it makes it supposed to appear brighter or cleaner. But that's what you use on your towel, for instance, to rub on your skin after you take a shower when your pores open up. And 60% of the chemicals on the towels or your clothes goes into your bloodstream. And this is where over time you will start to feel like sick or allergic or have these skin issues. And people often think it's food or like their creams or shampoos, but it could be, it's like a lot of it is your detergent too. So
because we wear clothes every single day. Even if you sleep naked in bed, you're still sleeping on something, like your sheets, unless you're like raw dogging your mattress, which I don't think you should do. But like if you're still sleeping in sheets, like it's still been in that washing machine with that laundry detergent. So, it's so interesting. It's something we come in, it's like our second skin. We're in it every single day, but we don't think about it as often as we should.
And worse is also people are becoming more into health and fitness. So when you're sweating a lot constantly too, and that's why, do you notice, because you're a Pilates teacher too, when you sweat, sometimes there's like a funky smell in your gym clothes. It's because normally like these workout gear is high-tech fabric, and they actually don't take in detergent as well. Like it's kind of like it kind of leaches more. So when you sweat and your sweat's mixing in with the layer of residue, that's why workout clothes tend to be stinkier.
It's crazy. And going back to suds as well, like I remember doing these like little science experiments when I was in school where it was like suds bubbles, they contain so much moisture. So is that what kind of leads to our washing machines getting moldy? Like the rims, I had that issue at my new place, and I had to get my rims replaced. is that even called the rim? The drum?
Like the drum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, there was like mold in that. And my landlord, bless her soul, helped like so expensive. It was like $800 to replace it, by the way. But like she did it, and it was very moldy.
Yeah, so
I'm wondering if it's
Yeah, it's from suds.
Yeah, because it retains moisture, right?
Exactly, and the layer. So suds breeds bacteria. So that's why also washing machines, they have a funky smell over time.
Oh.
It's like the layer and layer and layer of this detergent that's swishing around that doesn't really get rinsed properly ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not just your fabric that over time kind of makes it shed more, but it's also it ruins your machine. And they also do that purposely too, because you can kind of buy a machine and have it last for 20 years or more, but they want you to replace your machine more often.
Yeah, like replacing the parts.
Yep. Yeah. And companies also don't mind it making it smelly because they can sell you detergent cleaner, machine detergent cleaner. So they're making more money from that too. So, which if you use
more, you know.
Exactly.
Dryer sheets as well, right? That like how it makes our clothes soft is that like waxy coating, right?
Yeah.
And I stopped using dryer sheets for the longest time. I just lived with staticky clothes for forever.
Yeah. Well, now you have the dryer balls.
Yes, so. Exactly. Now I have the dryer balls.
The kind laundry dryer balls.
I couldn't use dryer sheets. I didn't use dryer sheets for like, I think the last 2 years, just because I didn't like how it made my clothes feel. And also, I was worried that I was putting things on my body that isn't gonna benefit me in the long run.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
Yeah, and it was really chatting to like my naturopathic doctor about parabens, phthalates, and all these nasty like things that help me understand my household items and help me really realize what's in my household items and the extra step that I can go to make a better change for my body. And that's sort of why I wanted to work with Kind Laundry as well, and that is why I'm here today.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it's still a learning process and journey for us too. And it's really cool because I'm not a chemist, but I know what customers are looking for, and it's currently not out in the market. So as I'm working with the chemists and or manufacturers, there's like a long list of chemicals in your typical base detergent that most people will use, and I would question each one. And like, so I use the ewg.org website a lot to like learn more about the ratings of each ingredient. And it's kind of like a good journey. It's kind of like, well, half of these chemicals are not even necessary.
Yeah.
But I learned that big companies use it because it's cheap. When you're doing extremely high volumes mass, they add it in there because it makes it smell stronger, look cleaner, more bubbles.
The suds, especially.
Exactly. Scents to produce. It's like literally scents.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit more expensive in the beginning for us, a small company, to invest in higher quality ingredients, but we're just hoping that we're going to invest for the future. So over time, as our sales grow, we can have the same economies of scale. But we just removed every single thing that's just purely like not necessary. Yeah. And then we list out every single ingredient on the website so that not everyone understands what a chemical is, but at least you have peace of mind that you can look it up on Think Dirty, which we're on. It's an app. And it lists out every single ingredient and the rating for each ingredient and what each ingredient does. So now you don't have to go back and forth to your practitioners like, is this okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
You can just go into these credible apps and websites and kind of like learn for yourself.
Yeah.
They're third party, so you can't pay them for it. Yeah. You have to send your product to the lab and they have to test it themselves, and then they give you like a rating as well.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that you guys make understanding these chemicals more accessible as well, because a lot of times when I turn a label around and it's super complicated, I just whatever, you know?
Yeah,
which sucks. Like,
I trust this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, you want to be with a company that you trust, right? Like, yeah. I love Kind Laundry, as I said, that's why I'm here. But I've also used many other detergent sheets before. I've tried some detergent sheets, but I just never really liked it until I tried your guys'. So that's why when I first approached you guys, I was like, oh, I don't know if I really love laundry detergent sheets, because
you're not sold.
I'm not sold, exactly, because my old ones that I've tried, they don't make my clothes feel clean. And there always ends up being this like, I don't know how to even explain that texture. It feels like like if you bake, it feels like your clothes are thicker almost. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my clothes don't smell nicer after, and I don't feel like it's cleaned after at all.
Could
like I still get kind of sweaty
Yeah.
smell, you know?
Could it be one of these? You can take a look.
Possibly. Okay,
So,
it definitely feels like something like this. It was pretty thin, and I remember just throwing it in there with like ease.
Yeah. That has a lot of bubbles on it, right?
Yes, I see that. Yeah.
So the difference between we were actually one of the first ones to do this format, at least in North America. And today there's like thousands of other brands who are doing it, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy to see that because that just means a lot more people looking for a more sustainable and non-toxic option.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they just don't want to use plastic jugs anymore.
Yeah.
The only issue is that unfortunately 99% of the options out there are private label and they share the same formulation because it's cheaper. And to be fair, when we started, we did that too. But the private label formulation, the majority of them, not all, have starch in them. That's the main ingredient. Is that what you're kind of feeling?
Yeah, is that, I'm assuming that's what leaves that really weird
residue
on my clothes, because that was sort of why I didn't really want to do detergent sheets again, because I just thought it was like not cleaning very well.
Yeah, it could be a combination of like what's in the formulation, which is, for instance, starch and probably other unnecessary chemicals, because not all detergent sheets is non-toxic too. Like they all have different formulation. It's also the way they produce a sheet. So not all manufacturers have the same way of making it. So we specifically want to ensure that it dissolves in cold water pretty quickly. And we took out starch and any unnecessary ingredient. So our formulation is a bit more expensive to produce, to be honest, because we add enzymes in there for tough stains, especially stains for like if you're a mom with like young children, to take away like milk and also like baby food where they puke. So we use protease. And then we also add premium plant-based extracts like Sapindus mucoracea, Camellia japonica. These are ingredients that are widely used in Asia for antibacterial properties. Actually in skincare, but we took these components and put them in a detergent sheet.
Yeah. It's like skincare for your clothes.
Exactly, because your clothes are second skin.
Yes.
Yes. And the reason why is because a lot of people like to hand wash their clothes as well. So if you're going to hand wash your clothes, like you said with your issue with the sensitivity, we want to make it as gentle as possible so you don't have those reactions. We're 50% bigger. So if you hold it up, you can kind of see like the strip. You probably use a strip or something.
Yeah, mine, the old one that I had was like you ripped it in half and that was one load.
Yeah.
I used the entire thing though, to be honest. I didn't believe that, but
yeah, so when we say one load, it's literally that's one load.
Yeah.
Which is generally double the size of what you see in the market. But it's kind of like tricky when you look at the website and like other brands kind of detergent because they make it look big.
Yeah, yours is also so smooth. The other ones, they all have like little air bubbles in it. And this one especially, it feels so like
it could be because of the starch or other chemicals that they put in there.
Right.
But because we use, again, plant-based extracts and like cleaner ingredients, perhaps that's why it's smoother.
Yeah.
So we're bigger and also thicker.
Yeah.
Too. Thicker means it's just that you have more detergent, so it's more concentrated. You're getting more soap as well.
So good.
And it's a good idea when you're comparing detergent sheets, just check out the ingredient list and also ask the brand.
Yeah.
Like, how did you formulate it? Like, why did you formulate it the way you did? Like, ask them questions. They should be able to proudly, respond to you, tell you the inspiration behind the formulation. As well. But I'm excited because next year we actually optimized this 2 times. Next year we're gonna create a version where it has 7-in-1 enzymes. That's unheard of because normally detergents in general have 1, 2, or 3, maybe 4 max. But there is a 7-in-1 option, which we're testing out right now because we want to make sure the reports show like you see the difference from the stain removal. And then we're also going to add, we're testing still early on, but a chemical in there that's natural and safe to take bacteria out. Because detergent doesn't kill bacteria, it cleans your clothes and your stain. But again, a lot of people when they sweat or have children or pets, they want something that's going to clean the actual like bacteria out of their clothing, especially when it comes to bedding too.
Yeah.
And towels. So we're working on that as well.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah.
What I also find so interesting is that laundry as a practice has gone through such a big evolution, even thinking about just detergent itself, right? Like, my mom always used powder. We still do, actually, back in Hong Kong. We like powder is still our favorite. I think that's just what she's used to.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously liquid detergent. And then when I was in college, it was pods, because it was just the easiest thing to carry around in dorms. I didn't want to think about a jug or anything. Also, I didn't want to think about, you know, the tray that pulls out for, I still don't know to this day. I should know because I work with you guys. I should know this. But the tray you pull out for your washing machine, there's like so many different like containers.
Compartments.
Yeah, that I just didn't want to think about. I was already so stressed in school. I didn't want to think about this. So that's why I avoided liquid when I was in school, and it was just pods.
Yeah.
And then I matured post-graduation. That's when I started to use liquid detergent.
Or when you start to work here, pretty much.
And then now I'm using sheets.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because back in the day, powder, actually, before powder, it was soap bars.
Oh.
So like in the villages, like back in the day, they use soap bar that's made from animal fat tallow. And they'll scrub it against like it's kind of like a cutting board with like edges.
Oh
for
yeah.
clothes. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that's how they wash clotes back in the day by hand with a soap bar.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen it in like Disney movies.
Oh, have you? Disney movies? Which one?
Like I don't know when. I feel like when Belle was frolicking around.
Oh, so Beauty the Beast.
Yeah. The opening scene. Yeah. I feel like I remember someone scrubbing.
Yes, exactly. That's how people did laundry back in the day.
Yeah.
That's actually before they put chemicals in there too, so it's, at least it's safer, but not easy to kind of like for mass laundry.
Yeah.
So then I moved it to powder, and the thing is, powder is very heavy.
Yeah.
And although granted, it's put in like a box, so you can recycle the box.
Yeah, it's like a carton usually. So my mom usually thinks that that's like the sustainable option.
Yeah.
Or the better option.
But the thing with powder is that it actually does a great job at cleaning whites because it can add sodium bicarbonate or like whitening agent in there. But it's a format that I do think has a lot of flow agents and preservatives. So there's you might want to tell your mom to they don't list it. Remember, by law you don't have to list every single ingredient. The reason why is if you don't have those preservatives or flow agent, it's gonna clump. Like, you know, litter. Clumps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you buy powder that doesn't have that, it's like you know, have you ever gone to a point like at the bottom or like halfway through it's like very hard, so you have to break the powder?
Yes. Like it's literally my mom would have to like tap the side of the box to get it to like loosen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't dissolve as well in cold water too. So powder's not as popular in North America, but I'm aware that's probably more popular in Asia and Africa and other parts of the world. Liquid, it's great because it dissolves really well in all water temperatures because it's already liquid. Yeah. But did you know that it's almost 80 to 90% water?
I did because I work with you guys.
Yeah, but before that, did you know?
No.
Yeah, so that means only a small percentage is actually detergent. So you're paying pretty much for water.
Yeah, I think I had the perception that it was clean because of the bubbles, right? Like, I always feel like that just seems clean to me. Yeah, I think that's what other people think as well. Also the color, like they're usually blue or green, right? Like that's instantly, I don't know what that, maybe we should do something about like color theory also, because something about the blue and green makes me think it's clean.
It's done strategically because blue, the color blue and green is like a hue. So when you're using detergent, it gives you the illusion that your clothes coming out brighter, but it's actually not brighter. Oh. It's just like a sheen. It's like a chemistry thing that I learned when I was working with the formulators and stuff. But
interesting.
So all these ingredients that they add, okay, so on top of like majority water, and then you have a small bit of soap, and then you have a bunch of other ingredients that make you think that your clothes is cleaner than it actually is. Yeah. It's like how much real soap are you getting to clean your your clothes. But it's easy to use because you just throw it into any water temperature, but it does come in a plastic jug. That's the only thing. And then We unfortunately do laundry. Everyone in the world does laundry for the rest of their lives. So just think about in your lifetime how many of these big heavy duty plastic jugs you put into landfills. And unfortunately, even though you put them in a recycling bin, they're not really being recycled. Like we don't see what happens to it, but the plastic that's used for it never decomposes back into earth. So you'll probably see them show up in a lot of landfills in like third world countries or even oceans, unfortunately. It's just not a sustainable way.
Yeah, for sure.
To create a product that everyone needs in the world.
Yeah, and pods. What I loved in college as well.
Did you eat them?
I definitely seen the challenges of like people eating pods. I think this was like, oh my gosh, it might even be like on the Vine days, not even on TikTok days.
Yeah.
People were doing like, I could be wrong, but like, yeah, the pod eating challenges, which is crazy because it's like
so toxic.
You have kids doing it now as well, or back then, which is crazy.
And they were dying from it or getting severely sick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so dangerous. It's like, it's so easy to just leave one out. If you're like taking them out, sometimes it could spill and you can have just one pod laying around.
Yeah, because they look like candy.
Exactly. And you're like, I have cats, you have cats.
Yep.
If they scratch it, they play with it.
Exactly. Or like families with little children.
Yeah.
So pods is pretty much the same thing as liquid detergent, but just in dose, like it's pre-dosed.
Yeah.
The only issue with that is, first of all, it's hard to travel with because it'll burst.
Yeah.
And also, like you can't, like, if you want to remove a specific spot, like, you know, like with liquid or powder or even sheet, you can just tear the piece out to like rub on a spot.
Yeah.
You can't do that with pod.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not as convenient as well. And it's mostly water.
Yeah.
Because it's liquid format.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the pros and cons generally with the different types of formats.
Yeah.